what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Baseball Card Junkies podcast. You notice that we are not operating on the same time as we did, and the reason being is because you asked for it. So again, I'm here with the card deal that's below me, and then we got the My Pillow guys sponsored rep that's test drive that he's got.
He's had enough.
I've been up for 16 hours already, for God's sakes. Who switched this to 8 o'clock?
So, other than that, how was everybody's weekend so far? Mike, we know you spent the weekend
the same
working.
thing. I worked. I worked and tried to answer emails and tried to prepare for this podcast, and so yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
and I hope I make it.
Arnie was relatively busy being a productive member of society with a heart. He held a very inspirational live stream this past weekend. That was awesome on your part, and as well as Josh from KC Car Connection. So that was a good thing.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Yeah, that was awesome. I know I had to look through my my hamper for extra quarters and a couple of dimes just to contribute. So I'm glad I was able to help out there. But let's see who we got in the chat here. We have the Bunny fan who did reach out to me directly saying he will not be in attendance, and I told him that's okay. There's a thing called recap. We have White Sox Tom. We got grade-worthy trading cards who's actually watching the Yankees right now.
There you go.
Canadian card breakers in the house. We got Matty Ice. We got Smalls Card Den. Then we have Sean the Jedi Master. We have the newest member to the community. We got Stuff Geeks Rips. So how's everybody doing this fine Monday evening?
Good crowd so far. Let's go.
Yeah, awesome. I gotta say, I don't know how Mike and you guys do those streams. I'm just saying, you guys have been all in those for what, last several years, and
yeah,
I tell you what,
that's a lot of work, man.
It is a lot of work.
Mike to pick on me. Mike had to force me to grow a set to actually come on live stream and do my own.
Okay? I mean, you're always in there helping out too whenever there's a group of people. So,
well, there's one thing to help out, and there's another thing of running your own.
I'll tell you what, Arnie, for your first time, I mean, it started off kind of, like Rocky, like they always do. But yeah. I'd say after the first half hour, boom, you guys were clicking.
And Josh, we met a little bit behind the scenes, and Josh is always good with that stuff, kind of just taking control and, helping out and jumping in when he can. So, yeah, it's pretty good, though. But I'm glad that everybody was able to get together for a good cause. And we got to do it again here in a little bit. What, a week out for Maddie's?
Yeah, we got Maddie's on Sunday, the 9th, starting at 12 noon.
Oh, this Sunday. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
So a couple of disclaimers before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast. Next week, Monday, there will not be a podcast due to the fact that I will not be in the area. And if you notice, I have set a goal. Maybe you guys can help me out. Due to inflation and the pricing of the hobby so far, I'm looking to see about having some help with getting at least a little hobby box for myself to rip while I'm in Tampa with my special guest.
Ooh.
And I will be doing it on a live stream. So if you can help out, great. If you can't, that's fine. I'll go out there and I'll sell my fourth point of contact. But,
okay.
In all seriousness, though, there will not be a podcast next week. But just keep an eye out for any postings that I do post, whether it be on YouTube or Discord, about what we're going to be going to do the following week.
Gotcha.
Right? So, all right. So first things first, we have a couple of products that are scheduled to be released here within the next 2 weeks. And before I even get into detail, let me pull up my screen so I can show you exactly what it is I'm talking about. All right. So the first one is going to be Heritage High Number. Okay. This is scheduled to be released on the 26th of March. Okay. And according to Dave and Adams, they're only asking for a low price of $118.11. Okay. Now we see the excitement coming from my co-host that's directly below me, because apparently they should have been a lot cheaper, which I wholeheartedly agree. But okay, what we're looking for is an autograph or a relic, 5 chrome base or parallels, 2 base aqua, 4 hobby exclusive base dark blue parallels on average. Here's the key rookies that you'll be looking for. Okay, 200 card base set, and then you got cards 701 to 725, which are usually your short print. Then you'll have the 75 minis, the remaining 225 cards from the popular Heritage Mini release. Any thoughts on this, gentlemen?
It seems to be the norm, right? But other than those new parallels that they added, it seems to be pretty basic and not many changes, which is what I like to see. Not too many changes. What about you, Mike?
Well, the rookie class is going to carry this. That's for sure. With Skeens and Merrill, who knows?
Yeah,
it's still out on Jackson Holiday, but I think the price. I think it's about $30 too much.
Now keep in mind, this is those prices from Dave and Adams. This is not the Topps release. So if anybody does not
Topps price,
not yet. Yeah.
Now that's with Enfuego's silver membership, so it will be $119.
Correct.
Gotcha.
99 with that.
So basically, I'm saving a whole $1.84.
Exactly. Isn't that wonderful? I think they've even changed that on Dave and Adams. I think we're saving less. It used to be like $4 off every 100.
Yeah.
It's not anymore.
So do you think, Mike, what do you think? Okay, let's just hypothetical for both of you. What do you think it's going to be when it comes to the top site?
I think it's going to be 99 or 89.
It's
going to hover around the $100 mark.
Yeah.
I'm hoping 89. If it's 89, I'll buy 3 boxes and do a break.
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. B says 89.99. Yeah. I kind of.
And keep in mind, this is just them trying to set the benchmark, trying to set the pre-orders. Yeah. And a lot of people that deal with them, it's shocking to me that they just don't understand that Topps is going to put out the same exact case for less in like 4 or 5 days. So why don't you just park it till Friday at 12 noon? You're going to get the email Thursday night in your inbox. And if you don't get it there, go to your MLB store, sign up for a free membership, click on a team that you like, and it'll send you an email every single time a product comes out, in addition to whatever team you follow. That's the only requirement, and it's free to sign up. And if you miss it on Topps, you'll get an email for sure daily from the MLB store. Topps is very infrequent with their releases and emails, but MLB store is very up your butt with email updates.
Yeah, I think most people are saying they need to keep it under $100.
Yeah, and again, anybody that's in the chat now
100%
that doesn't like that price that they just saw, you have your opportunity. Just be ready within the next 4 or 5 days.
Now, do you think it's going to? I don't know what the print run's going to be. Do you think it's going to sell out within the first 10 minutes?
It's not going to sell out.
No,
what they'll do is if they do, they'll just pull it off and put it right back on. They'll yo-yo the product back and forth.
I appreciate the donation there, Sean. Truly means a lot. So
nice, Sean. Box battle must happen.
All right. So we know what's going on with Heritage High Number. All right. Next one that we're going to be showing, Top Series 1 Super Box. Okay. Now, initially it was at $59.95, and that is scheduled to be released in 2 days. Now we're talking about $59.03, but I'm saving 92 cents.
That's criminally insane. It should be $29.03.
Okay, and from what we see, there's really no big difference. You got your pin, you got your 2 silver packs, or 1. I forgot which one it was.
It's 1. Yeah, now
you got your 10 base packs. You've got your oversized, and behind the oversized, or in between the oversized and the front cover, you have what they call a companion card.
I mean, if it was $39.99, I would buy it.
This will be at the stores like the Costco's.
Right.
This was always considered the Costco box.
Exactly.
It's an exclusive retail product, but it's got the Easter tie-in now, like Enfuego showing here up with the Gunnar Henderson. And the tin's coming in egg shape, I guess, or whatever that ties into that. But I don't know. Are you going to buy any Enfuego? Are you going to go, if you're at a Costco, do you buy one for $39 or do you walk right past it?
If I have an itch to rip something, I would actually pick a box up
for $40, right? But
for $40, I would pick
for
up
$50. Would you just go no, and no?
Probably I would just leave it for somebody else.
Okay, so that's probably your cutoff. Yeah, mine would be right at $40 because you're figuring another $4 or $5 for taxes.
Because initially, if I'm not mistaken, Arnie, when they first came up with the whole Superbox concept, it opened up at $50. Am I right?
I thought it was a special at Costco for $39.
I thought it was $40.
I wonder if Adrian would know for sure.
Yeah.
She would be the go-to to answer that.
Yeah, but and again, product in hand, walking down the aisle when you're going to get something else that you don't want to be at the store for, and you're like, baseball cards. Maybe then, yeah, I'll spend a little extra.
Yeah, I mean, again, for $60, I would continue on. To be honest. Okay. It says, so according to Maddie, it was $39.99 at Costco.
And then prior to that, the 2023, you know what? I think I still have like 2 or 3 boxes of these from series 1 of 23.
$30 at some stores, and Walmart was just under $35.
Yeah, that's right, because they were $5 more at Walmart. I do remember that part.
Yep, right on point.
Okay.
All right, so continuing on with the Series 1 locomotive, we have the Celebration Mega Box, and they're also the same price as the Super Box.
Yeah, that's
this all about? I saw that. I really didn't look into it too much.
At that price, no thanks.
There's no difference between a Mega Box and a Super Box from what I see here. I mean, what is the breakdown for this anyway?
That one just has the parallels and stuff of the mascots. That's all it has.
Okay, they have the no-name parallel, which is across all formats.
Yeah.
Then they got the City Connect. Okay, that's across. Heavy Lumber Limited, got that. Black parallel, red parallel. So there's really no distinguishing differences.
Except for the mascots.
Just the puppets.
Now, I wonder, because the norm with mega boxes is you'll get what? I think it's 5 or 6 base packs and 2 exclusive packs. Is that the same case in this particular product?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
No, I think that 8 confetti parallels on average, that's just mixed into the regular packs. It's not going to be a mega box format where there's like bonus packs. It's just going to be straight packs. If you look at the pack format somewhere in there, I'm not sure if it has a pack format breakdown.
No, that's what I'm looking for, and I'm not seeing it. Okay, so they have the highlights are. I just had it. Where'd it go?
So B says it also has the walk this way cards and inserts from opening day. Does that mean they're going to get rid of Big League? Because Big League kind of like took over opening day.
You know what?
It might.
Big League should have already been out by now, right?
So it's usually right after series. Well, it was what was it? It was series 1 opening day and then Big League.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
So we should see something from Big League shortly.
So Beast is calling it. He's dubbing it a remastered opening day.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So the highlights for this is they got 8 confetti parallels and only 1 stars of the MLB pack.
Yeah, but opening day was $40 for a hobby box.
Yes.
And that's not a hobby box configuration.
No, I agree. You're right. Now, the last product, and I'm going to show it anyway, even though we don't have access to it directly here, but we do know of a residential native of the land of the rising sun who could probably acquire this stuff for us. All right. And this is the Topps X Takashi Murakami series. So they're coming out with 2 formats. All right, this one already came out yesterday. It's 14 cards per pack, 16 packs per box, and it's only available at the Tokyo Dome, Miyashita Park, and Topps in Japan, which is all in Tokyo. They got the inserts and autos, ultra rare Murakami flower parallels, limited to no less than 10, and 1 in 40 boxes. Then you got dual 101 autos per. And then with the matchup set, it's just 1 pack with 26 cards.
Wow.
So, and I believe there are some pictures of it that I have, but as we go along through the segment, I can, well, let me see if I could actually pull one up. Okay, so this is what one of them looks like. I don't know how exciting that
it's got the 1989 feel with the banner at the bottom, and then that's basically Big League right there with the 2 Mickey Mouse ears, and then the little thing on the bottom left. That's a Big League card.
Okay. What else we got here? That's another variation. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Sad, but it's okay. All right, moving right along. So that's all the releases that actually coming out in the near future. Nothing really to write home about, but it is what it is. All right, so the next thing is PSA specials. These are the only specials that they got going on for the month of March. So regular service, we're looking at $59.99 per card with an insurance value of $1,500 or less, and the turnaround time is guesstimated at 10 business days. Then you have your value max special at $50 a card with $1,000 insurance value and 15 days turnaround. Then you got your original NCAA photos, and these are your exclusions.
Can you go back to that photos real quick? Is that NCAA or it's just basketball? Okay, because of the March Madness coming up. I see.
So if you guys are into stuff like that, then that would likely be for you. Okay, so I'm not gonna dive into it. All right. So the next thing we have, and I just had it up too. I don't know if everybody caught it, but PSA updated their app. And this is just a little bit of the information that they actually have. So you have the pop report. It gives you the breakdown. And if I'm not mistaken, because I haven't played with it yet, if you put in a certificate number of a particular slab that you have, it automatically gives you an estimated value. Is that accurate, Arnie?
Estimated value, yep. And then there's an additional feature, what I think you were going to bring up on the pop report. So it actually have the sliding scale left to right, where it actually show you the card you pulled up. Let's just say hypothetically it's a 10, where you're pointing with your cursor there. It'll slide left to right, and you can actually see the different pop counts on 8s, 9s, and 10s, grades lower or grades higher, what you have in your hand. Which is it's pretty cool. I mean, it's great. Between this and the integration to eBay, when you're searching on eBay and you're looking for a PSA 9, and you say, hey, well, let me see what a 10 goes for, you can actually click on the 10 and see other search results, in addition to seeing what pop count is right on eBay. To me, that's just a great buying and selling tool. And then this is just a bonus right here.
Yep, the registry app, because I know there's a lot of set builders that actually like to utilize this.
Yeah. And it's not just set builders, because what's nice about that is it's just another tool for additional information to research,
Right.
So I think it's great. I think that kind of stuff gets overlooked. All we do is hear about the negatives and talk about the mistakes they make. But, a couple nice things in the last 60 days from PSA.
Yeah, they really upped it. It's really nice now.
All right, so the next thing we're gonna dive into is I don't know if everybody is familiar with this grading company, but Tag has given us an update regarding the current standing of their company. And if I may, I'm gonna go ahead and just read through this letter that they wrote out. You make your judgments, your assessments based off of this. So basically, Tag's mission is to provide car grading with the highest level of detail, transparency, and consistency. They are humbled by the overwhelming demand, which has exceeded their short-term plans and reinforced what they believe is the market's acceptance and supportive efforts. Basically, Tag is more AI-driven grading versus solely relying on the human eye, because apparently humans don't make mistakes. All right, so in the last 30 days, customer submissions have went up by a total of 471% compared to the previous month.
What do you say that 47? Did you say 471%?
471%.
Okay.
Compared to the month prior. Okay, so basically that tells them that they need more space, more equipment, and more people. While they did project growth, they did not expect it to be at this level. So in order to meet the demand, they're looking at ordering up to $500,000 in additional equipment, hiring 30 new team members, and securing some more real estate. So
good for them.
They're apologizing in advance for any delays if you have any cards sent through them as of right now. But despite the challenges, they're committed to keeping their turnaround times as previously advertised at an affordable price. And they are affordable. You know, $15 a card will remain, but will currently be limited to only 20 cards at a minimum.
Yeah, that's the
estimated 30-day business turnaround.
That's the only issue I ever see with that company is right now they're going to do that. And I see where their math is at when it comes to the 471%. That could have been like, hey, we have 7 customers. Now we have 49 customers. You know what I mean? What are those numbers really like? So the fact that they left that out, I don't know if these guys are on the GemRate site. Because I don't know, does GemRate do anyone else or no?
They don't. They're not on Tag. No.
So, and this company's private, so they don't have to divulge any of that information. So what they're giving us is just what they want us to know. And it could it be true? Could it be false? Could it be a marketing plan? Could it be, hey, we're going to hire 5 more guys and open up another garage down the street at our friend's house? Could be. We don't know. But whatever it is, good for them because competition's great. And I said it many times that it's Jim's hardware store opening up next to Home Depot. It's not a smart move, and you're going to go under eventually. But I love the fact that there's people trying, and good luck to you. That's all I got on this one.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when you and Adrian graded some cards from Tags, and I thought it was really good because you actually see the surface of the card. They show you like basically the printout of the surface of the card and everything. And it was absolutely amazing.
I didn't like the bags. That was my only gripe about them. I didn't like the bags.
You don't like the fact of having the ripping the pack concept?
No. And here's the reason why.
Oh, I like that.
Right. I understand.
It's like opening a pack.
I understand, but here's the reason why. You get to, if you didn't get to see your grades, then yes, I think that was kind of cool.
Just don't look at your grades.
Well, hang on a sec. Yeah.
Here we go.
Don't look for my don't look for my Easter basket too, right?
Wow.
What are you gonna tell me next? No, the reason I think of that, Mike, is I think of how much cost that goes into that and labor. Just give me something different.
Well, maybe they should give you an option on that. Do you want your cards just come back like PSA in a big box?
I do like,
or do you want them wrapped for an additional $2 or something like that?
Not even that. I like the fact that you just said that because I would send that to them because I think that is a great idea. Here's the reason why. A lot of these guys do mixers. They'll send 50 cards and they know what the list is, right?
Right.
They can say, here's the cards we're grading. We put them into a mixer. We put them into a those what do they call those packs? Mystery packs. Yeah, mystery packs, basically. I think that would be great for a company and a business that does mystery packs already, and they can utilize that tool to sell those mystery packs and say, hey, listen, guys, here's all the cards. We don't know the grades. They may be better, they may be less, but this is the price before we send them. And I think people would be more inclined to buy those prior to sending them in. knowing that there's an upside of possibly a better grade than what we're going to pay for up front. I think it is cool. It's just not for me in terms of I don't need that extra wrapper. I just want to get to my cards and display them.
Well, from what we see in the chat, you know, KC said that they do look cool, a lot better than SGC.
I agree.
He actually has a Bobby Gold foil on a Tag 10.
Yeah, I agree. I think they look great. The clarity and the crystal clear cases, I think, are awesome. And that's why I think those are great, because you got to keep in mind SGC is bulky and it has that black plastic border. It's just a very dated slab.
Right. But it's good for your vintage cards. Oh, they look so good in there.
They do. But they could do a better job with that black border, almost black plastic with the clear center. I think integrate the black into the plastic, not that little insert that kind of just moves around in there a little bit, or that's framing the card. I think if they did a two-tone plastic, one piece, I think that would basically set them off to be like, whoa, this is great. Because no one's done a colored case. They've done clear with all this color added on labels and then the plastic insert.
HGA has customized labels.
Right, labels. I'm talking the plastic. If SGC went with a black plastic and then a black and white label, I think that would be amazing. I think that would take them over the top. I really do. Okay, so Small's is saying that should do a white tux for that again, these are all great things that company does not listen. SGC will not listen to you. I reached out to SGC multiple times and I said, you have thousands of slabs at these mainly vintage shows or shows with a lot of vintage cards in them. They're the old, I mean, they look like they're printed on a typewriter. These are horrible labels. And I said, you could offer a special. Instead, these bozos have the same price of a reslab as a cost to grade. Yeah. What is the incentive to get your name and your brand recognition out there to everything being a tux, the term tux? It's all over your website. Offer the people that have old slabs a discount, $10 a card. You are basically doing all the free advertisement at that point for them, and they won't do it. So understandable. Are you up for tag? Do you like the tag? Are you back on the tag train, or are you just
at first I did have feelings for tag, but that feeling slowly dwindled away, kind of like COVID. So I'm not really looking into because if I went back, if I went and committed to tag, that would require me to crack open every PSA that I have here and submit through tag, and that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Was it more so though, in my opinion, or what I would guess before you told me that, I would guess it was the fact that they have this limitation on how much you can send them and what type of cards you can send them. I don't understand how
initially, right. I mean, yeah, you do have a point. When Adrian and I first experimented with tag, we was bound by some limitations. Okay, they're only taking these types of cards. They was only taking this amount of cards. So we could only do with what we was able to be working with. Mm-hmm. But now, as time has progressed and they've expanded on what we can or cannot send, you know, the attention really hasn't caught me like I thought it would.
I give them credit for staying away from vintage right now and not diving deeply in, because it probably gives them the opportunity to not get too in over their head and not get too maybe just not expand when they don't need to. Because right now, if they're profitable and they're keeping things under wraps, they've been able to be profitable this whole entire time. Now they have money to expand. Yeah. So that tells me either they got more money from an investor or they've done well with their business thus far and they're able to take the next step. So either way, I think it's good for them and it's good for collectors, because I don't like tag in terms of I don't grade with them and I don't have any plans on doing it. But the fact that they're still available, I think it's great for everybody, because you need competition out there and there's not much.
I wholeheartedly agree. Okay, so I mean, everybody in the chat's giving their perspectives on. I
love the variants. Yeah,
like I know. Yeah, Alan, he was infamous for FCG. You know, and he's writing here, FCG will grade and label error cards, which I know a lot of people don't. Back in the day, people harped on error cards as, oh, this holds more value because they spelled 42 wrong, you know? So, I mean, it's real minute things that people look to try to capitalize on a profit, if you will.
And mainly the profit lies in if there was a correction and they made two versions. They saw it where they were printing runs of 87 tops for 12 straight months, and then the next calendar year they printed 1988 tops. So they fixed X, Y, and Z card. That's a different story.
Prime example, you know. Let's take the Bill Ripken F-face card.
Yeah, they fixed it multiple times and screwed it up multiple times.
Yes, they did. All right.
Good point.
So I just dropped a link in the chat, and this link will take you to a video that was held by Neo Cards and Comics. And basically, this video depicted a segment where Michael Rubin, who happens to be the snakehead on the Fanatics body, if you will, and he was actually engaging with the average everyday collector like you and I. And this person asked Michael a question regarding why is it that we feel as though the hobby is being priced out of our reach. Okay, rightfully so. I mean, we can all agree that prices nowadays are slowly going up, and is making it harder for us to actually enjoy the hobby, you know? So Michael's response, and we had a conversation about this before the show, and ultimately we all came to the same consensus that Mike is all about the word salad. He'll answer your question without answering the question.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, here's what some of the key points that I got out of his statements throughout that video. So when Fanatics and Topps releases a product, let's just take Series 1, for example. Okay. They're saying that 20% of the total manufactured product of that particular set is dedicated to retailers. 40% is going to LCSs and breakers. Now, where I'm having a hard time understanding is we all know every day the breaking community is growing exponentially. So that tells me that 40% is really not 40%. If anything, the more breakers that come onto the scene, to Fanatics, to Loop, sadly, but whatnot, okay, that number is probably going to go up. And yes, there are LCSs that are slowly coming up and making themselves known, but the increase is not as drastic as the number of breakers that's coming onto the scene. So now the first question that I actually came up with when he was spitting all these numbers is, in which category does Topps/Fanatics put themselves in? Because we all know we could actually purchase product despite the fact that it's limited availability, okay, and they don't really have a huge selection. What category do they put themselves in? Are they going to consider themselves retailers, which almost I'm convinced that's not the case, or would they consider themselves and put themselves in the LCS bracket? So what is everybody's thoughts about this breakdown of allocations of a particular product between all three segments?
Well, which breakers are you talking about that the 40% is going to? Are they allocated through Fanatics or all of them? I mean, Arnie could be considered a breaker. I could be considered a breaker, but I'm not through Fanatics or anything like that.
And that's probably what they're taking into consideration. Are you a breaker on one of these platforms?
Well, or is it a breaker from are they considering the people that are just on Fanatics Live?
Correct. Is that 40%? That's what I was trying to get to. Is that 40% of the allocation going to breakers that are on Fanatics Live, or LCSs that have signed up to do breaks? Because you can do that
and are advertising the name.
Yeah.
Right.
Meaning, I think what it means is if you're breaking in house, you do get more allocation, but you do have to go on Fanatics at least one day a week.
Right.
Yes, because I remember Adrian and I, we did a segment, I think it was about a year and a half ago, where Fanatics did come up with these rules where in order to get your allocation, you have to follow certain guidelines. You know, you got to have your store open X amount of days for X amount of time. You got to advertise us because we don't want to spend the money. We want you to spend the money for us and things of that nature. But yeah, I honestly think that 40% dividend between the LCSs and breakers are off. If anything, I would put breakers at minimum 55%, maybe 60%, because they're growing like weeds.
Mm-hmm. But you got to remember when you think of someone that gets allocation directly, they have the brick and mortar, or they're older breakers that were grandfathered in, because right prior to COVID, they cut a lot of those people off where you couldn't just call up and say, hey, I want allocation. I break from my house, or I break from an office space. I don't have a storefront. I don't have brick and mortar. I'm not public. So that kind of stuff direct with Tops. Now there is the third party vendors like the ones you see, you know, you could go buy and get a discount with them, where you say, hey, I'm going to break X amount of product. I have X amount of customers. I need this many cases, and you can work out some secondhand deals. That stuff they're not talking about though, because those aren't registered. There's no way to track that information. So that leads me to believe that you are correct in where you're getting your math from.
Okay. But now here's a question that you know, we were dancing around, but we really don't have a definitive answer. So I know you mentioned that brick and mortar has accounts and allocations for a brick and mortar establishment. Now, will they have an increase in allocations if they have both a brick and mortar establishment to include a breakers account on Fanatics Live, if you will? So if they're authorized 10 cases of Series 1 for their shop, will they be authorized another 10 to 15 if they're broken on Fanatics Live?
They definitely have to be getting more allocation, because if the print runs are not going up, I know for a fact that allocations are getting cut from multiple dealers. I know when I say multiple, I mean many that I've talked to.
Yeah.
And then these are not shops that have been around for 3 to 5 years. These are 25 to 20. These are 20 plus year shops. Let's just say that. I don't want to. I'm not saying anymore. They're 20 plus year shops getting allocations cut for no reason.
So here's what I would like to do for everybody in the chat. So if you happen to have an LCS in your area that happens to have a Tops direct account, and you know they've been in the game for a little bit, go and ask them the question: if they was to apply for a Fanatics Live breaking account, will that increase their allocations?
That's a good question.
Because if that's the case, every LCS would go that route.
True, but here's the hard part with that. Or not the hard part. Here's just a caveat to that. How are you going to hire somebody that knows what they're doing? How are you going to hire someone that you have time to train? Someone that'll show up, someone you can pay them enough, someone that you trust to be in the back room of your shop or to take up real estate in your shop. So there's a lot of things that go along with that, and a lot of these guys are older. You know, they don't want to deal with that. These guys have these guys don't even have cash registers. They have a drawer. You know, I'm being serious. Like these guys don't. They really don't. They don't
know what a chip card is, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
the point of sale system is new. They required them to have that now. That point of sale system people don't have.
That is all location dependent, because I happen to have a bunch of elderly gentlemen who run an LCS near me. Okay, and I'm fortunate to have 3 of them, but the one that I'm talking about, to older gentleman, and he's up to par with the latest and greatest in running an actual shop with everything that we're speaking of right now. He gets allocations for a direct LCS account, but he breaks on Instagram. So
yeah, he's not breaking all the product on Instagram.
No, he's not. Okay, but I'm actually gonna go probably see him one of these weeks and pose the question to him. If you had a Fanatics Live account, would that authorize you basically more of an allocation? Because that's a question that I plan on asking when I go to a LCS in Tampa. And
so that's,
and I will be recording it, and I'm going to be posting that on YouTube so everybody can see, and we all get the same answer collectively.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it sounds like Beast has a good answer there.
I already asked mine last year when he told me he was going to start breaking, and from what he told me, the allocations only go up depending on your sell rate of breaks.
So that's strictly with Fanatics Live.
Yes.
Now, it does all the local card shows that still have problems with top setters. Mark C, when you say that you still have top problems, what type of problems? And then Mike, ripping for rookies.
Yeah.
How far is your closest LCS?
I have one that I can walk to. I have one that's 1.5 miles away, and I just had a new one open down in the borough of Hatboro.
Okay.
Just found out about it, which it's a drive. It's probably like 3 miles away.
Okay, it's a drive.
So, I was talking to my nephew, and he said that one just opened up, across from the McDonald's. So I'm going to go and check it out and see what they're all about.
Awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
Okay, so now some other things that Mr. Rubin was talking about was, now keep in mind, there's a lot of people in the hobby that are very disgruntled, and they're always talking and using this excuse about all the big hits are always sent to breakers. Okay. Keep in mind, and I'm not sure if they're still doing it now, but at one point, Fanatics did say, prior to distribution of the product to all the LCSs, all the breakers, everybody and their brother, audits are actually done, and they are incorporated in the whole manufacturing process, so that it would alleviate and minimize favoritism, if you will.
Okay.
Not sure how accurate that is or how seamless it is, but they're saying that they still have these audits in place, which also costs money for them to actually have that system in place. Now, speaking of money, he did talk about trying to control pricing even in the secondary market. I almost find that impossible to do, because if Timmy had his little LCS,
oh boy, Timmy's back. Jesus, this kid's in therapy. He's only 9. He's got therapy 4 days a week.
Yeah, and don't put that picture of me up when I was 7 years old again, okay?
Oh God.
Okay, classic keep photo. In mind.
That's it. No, that's me at 4 years old. Now it's about 6 years old.
If this little guy was 20 years old and he opens up an LCS, there is no realistic way, if he went out and bought product and spent, let's just say, $2,000 on a particular product, which would equate to maybe 3 cases, for example. I don't expect for Timmy to go ahead and sell it for the same price he bought it from, because then that rules out the point of making a profit.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, there's no way Fanatics is going to have that ability to control pricing at that level.
Not after the first wave.
I'll tell you, the 2 LCSs that I have, the one has nothing to do with Pops or Fanatics or anything. They sell old vintage cards. They have some new product, and it's usually priced about $5. Blaster's like $5 more. The other one they do have an account with Fanatics and Tops, and they still jack up their prices even more than the other one. Yeah, it's $10 more for a blaster. Those mega boxes of the Tops with the 10 packs and the foil packs and all that other stuff, they were selling for $100. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Jeez.
You know, I got a $50 gift card, and from my stepdaughter, and I bought a blaster of Topps Chrome for $50. $50. Yeah. Because there was nothing else in there in that price range that I could purchase, and I figured that was the best deal.
Right.
If you call it a deal, you know.
And that's the thing. I mean, I find that that's going to be a challenge of trying to control pricing.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a business and you're not looking to capitalize on profit, why are you in business?
Exactly. You're not in business to give stuff away.
Exactly.
You're in business to make money.
Now, Michael did go into detail as to why it appears as if the hobby is being priced out from everyday collectors. So some examples he brought up, and I'm not really biting on them either. So for example, we have seen a massive reduction in redemptions, and he actually gave us a 98% reduction in redemptions, which I do believe. Okay, I mean, you'll out of 10 redemptions, I would say 9 of them are from big name players like your Skeens, your Otanis, Trouts maybe, and then you have that one Otto Lopez. Okay. Additionally, we've been asking for more on card and less sticker.
Yeah.
Okay. We know that a lot of these players have contracts with a lot of companies where, you know, it's against the law to ask Reggie Jackson, for example, in the middle of the street, hey, can I have your autograph? Yeah, you can, but I have to charge you like $60 for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that could play a factor into it. And then overall card formats and parallels that apparently a lot of collectors have been asking for. Those are what drive the prices up, is what he is saying. Now, do we agree with these comments? Beast makes a good point. How could he sign one, but yet another's a redemption?
Yeah. Unless they made the card after he could actually sign it or something like that. You know, that's the only way I could think about it. But yeah, I don't actually like redemptions, but I can see why they do redemptions if there's more than one person, more than one player on the card, more than one autograph.
Yes.
You know,
like
that I can see.
Autos or triple autos, I can see that.
I can see that happening. And as long as it's, you know, if I get in a redemption and it's all 3 are on card, I'm fine with that, you know. But if it's all 3 that are sticker autos, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they should have those sticker autos, because I've seen, who was it? I can't remember the name of it. Phil Hughes. He had a channel, right? And there was one of the videos I was watching where, you know, he got this package, and it was from I think it might have been from Panini. I'm not sure. But he had to sign his name on all the stickers and all that stuff. And he gave him like, you know, like a stack of like 100 stickers or something like that. And he just signed them and sent them on his way. So what did B say? Remember? Beast
is saying that when he had his shop back in the 40s, you have to mark up product to have to make your overhead.
Yeah.
So it's basically doubling your cost is just inconsiderate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely can see that with, you know, if you own a shop, you have to make money. You have to pay the rent. It was not the 40s.
But I can see how, like, okay, I know right now the hot number one, the hot one of ones everybody's chasing, especially in baseball, are those MLB debut patches.
Yeah.
It's like if you had to pick between a superfractor and an MLB debut patch, we're gonna go with the debut patch.
Yeah. Do they still have the platinum 101s? Are they still
do have
around?
platinum, yes.
They still have the platinum. Okay, so there's a bunch of 101s around, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's not, because back in the day it was the, you got the platinum 101.
Right.
And that was the 101, and then there were the printing plates.
Yep.
Of the players, which were very hard to find. My whole time opening cards, I pulled one printing plate, and it was Big Sexy.
But you did pull a platinum also out of 22.
I pulled a platinum for you. I pulled a platinum in a hanger. And it was Royce Lewis for you.
Yes.
You had the
Oh,
twins.
awesome.
Yeah, he had a Royce.
Well, who was that one of one that you just recently pulled? Was it a Juan Soto? Your most recent one.
That was out of Topps Chrome.
Yeah, Mike, you pulled a Soto, right? I believe.
I pulled a Soto out of the 2021 update hanger box.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Very
It's
cool.
now in the possession of the beast.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It was one of those deals. I guess it was maybe 2022. At the end of 2022, they had a deal on 2021 update hanger boxes for like $6 a piece. And I was like, give me 32 of them. What the heck? I'll shoot some videos.
I want to add one thing to this, and it's very, very simple.
Okay.
He's leaving out a lot of substance. No, the substance would be us. He's leaving out something
a lot of
very
detail.
Not even that. He's just leaving out I want to say punchline, but I'm looking for something different to say. He's leaving out just the direct question that we're asking.
He's dancing around the question.
Yeah. When someone starts off with anything other than yes or no to a yes or no question that deserves a yes or no answer, I'll give somebody, a little bit of rope to hang themselves because I talk like long myself and I'm trying to get my thoughts together. But he never goes back to the question. He kind of just adds more questions that we now have. And that's the part I don't like about scripted interviews.
Right. Nobody ever gives a yes or no answer anymore.
No. Everyone's a politician. I don't.
Exactly.
Stop.
Exactly.
Just give me the straight dope. Give it to me. How much money do you need from me for heritage? I just want to know. And how bad is it going to sting? Am I going to get one parallel or am I going to get 7 per box? And this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of know with heritage, you're not going to get much out of it.
Well, you are now because they added all the parallels to match everything else.
So let's see what happens. It might be,
and it's a smaller print run. So I'm telling you, it's going to be fun. I think
it will be fun.
I just don't think it's $119 fun.
It's not $119 worth of fun.
At $119, you got to be able to buy the boxes for $80, break it for $95, $100, pay for your supplies and your time. And maybe make $50 to $100, and everyone's going to get a good fun break. But other than that, you just can't be selling, because if you buy it at $120, now you're at $130, $140, $150 with taxes and breaking fees and supplies.
Yeah,
at $150 you're buying something else. At $150 I can go and buy a heritage from years past with proven winners.
Here's a question for you, Arnie, because I know you're more into the numbers than me anyway. Is PSA a public entity where they're stockholders?
No, they were at one time prior to the buyout to the current company. They used to be.
I think if they was to re-implement that would actually be a mechanism to hold them accountable to answer these tough questions.
Well, just like anything else. And here's one thing. Now again, this is not me bashing on, Fanatics, because listen, they've done some great things and they've done some bad things, but that's just how things go, right? What I did hear him say in that interview which was kind of telling, is, how did he phrase it? He phrased it and said that we're doing these audits. I think that's to keep the regulation off his back.
Okay.
Because I'm a big fan of regulation, and right away I know the comments can go, "Oh, we don't want that. We don't want that." Listen, if you're not a snake in the grass, you got nothing to hide. You can look at my underwear drawer. You can look in the dirty underwear hamper. I can care less.
Agreed.
You want to watch me take a shower? I don't care what you do. I really don't care about any of this. Like
that's why I draw the line. You're not going to watch
really
me
see. That's where me and you disagree now.
But no, you do make a valid point. If you all about transparency, then you should
I just think
okay
everybody wants a fair shake. That's all. Like when Mike's talking about prices, and David Adams is 119, and then Steel City's at 118.9, and they're fighting over 50 cents, like three gas stations on the same corner. Like, I don't care about that. If you're don't take this the wrong way, collectors, but take it the right way. If you're too stupid to not know that Top sells cards on their website, and you're looking at David Adams and you're bitching, and 2 weeks after the product's out because you didn't get it at the Topps price, you're an idiot. And I'm sorry.
But I'm not sorry. Directed to you, Arnie.
Gets all the sports. Do you feel they'd be good? No, there's no such thing as anything good for the hobby. That's a monopoly. However, you have to decide when that happens if it's something that rubs you the wrong way, and it rubs you so wrong that you don't want nothing to do with it anymore. We all have a right to just walk away and say, I don't want to do this anymore. But I've chosen to stay happy and enjoy what I like, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until
continue your own habits.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Makes sense to me.
But that's a great question, Beast. It's a very good question, because I think everybody in here has to ask themselves the same question, because it's going to happen. What
is the straw that's going to break the back of you as the collector?
For me, nothing, because I never quit.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is it's not how much you spend. It's where your money comes from. If your disposable income is $200 a month or $20,000 a day, it doesn't matter. That's your disposable income. Whether you go to the casino, you have another habit, you have another collectible lane that you go to, you collect signs, neons, beer memorabilia, whatever it is.
Yep.
Just honestly, stay within your budget.
And I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure a lot of my brothers and sisters in arms who are veterans that are in this chat now, we all about the adapt and overcome. We can't get product like we used to. Buy singles.
Yeah.
We get priced out of that venue. We go to card shows.
Yeah.
If we get priced out of that. Hey, Louis, are you holding a damn garage sale?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, think about it when you couldn't go to a baseball game, right? Or a game. You can't go to the Super Bowl. You can't go to the playoff game. Hey, what are we doing? We're going to the bar. Where's everybody going? Oh, so-and-so's got the game at his house. The Mike Tyson's fight back in the day. We would scrap together our money, $4 or $5 a guy when we were teenagers to get the pay-per-view, and beg one of the moms to let us, hey, can you please order us this? Here's all our cash.
Yes. Agreed.
And we'd have a little house party watching Mike Tyson fight for 30 seconds,
You just
adjust
or adapt or you give up.
Yeah, you figure out what you want to do and how much energy you want to put into this hobby.
Yeah.
But
like I said, when I got back into this in 2020, in the past 5 years, every year I've adjusted to something. Yeah. In 2020, the prices were cheap. You could buy anything that you want. You were getting great cards because the print runs were low. 2021, it started to go up, and then I was starting to think, why do I have all these base cards of teams that I don't even want? So then you start to adjust. Okay, well, I'm just going to start collecting. I'm just going to start buying in the breaks, and you start buying in the breaks, and it's like, well, now I'm going to adjust again because the prices are going up.
Yeah. And sometimes it'll make you pivot on its own, like you said, Mike. It's each release. I had Artie's buddy Dave. I don't know if he's in the chat now, but I know Artie is. Dave reached out to me, who already turned Dave onto the breaks and the community and getting in, and he texted me earlier today, hey, what do you think about Heritage? And I said, well, everything is determined on the rookie class, and that's what Mike said a long time ago when we started today. It's going to be determined on the rookie class that's going to carry this product. And I think that's true for every product, right? Now, what I mean by that is you're going to tell yourself, is it worth $100 a box or $500 a box based on this? Once the Skeens chase was done, no one's looking at that. I, however, think the exact opposite. I think Jackson Morrell is going to be a much better player than Paul Skeens is, and that's just me, period. But the great news is the boxes went down, so I could afford them again. We were seeing boxes over $1,200 for a hobby box that cost a few $100s.
Yeah,
that's 400x.
I mean, I missed the day of $20 mega boxes.
Oh yeah, and $14.99.
$14.99. I was just going to say that.
The blasters, yeah. Some of the old ones were $9.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah.
And the mega and the holiday was $15. The $15 megas, the $20 megas, and the $15 and $10 blasters.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember me and Beast, we used to text on the regular. He used to tell me that I never knew President Nixon was a collector, and that Beast used to trade every now and then with him. You know,
What?
so I mean, because back in '73, I think Nixon was in office.
He was in office, yeah.
Okay, so
he was in office until '74.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't beat up Michael Rubin enough. I'm pretty sure everybody else is gonna beat him up, but now this one I'm kind of finding hard to believe. Now we know PSA is infamous for announcing in mysterious ways when they're backlogged. Can we agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here is a video of a fellow collector. He goes by the name of Carolina Collector, who voices an opinion opposite of that. He is under the impression that SGC is discreetly in a backlog, and I find that hard to believe. Now, I did look at the video, didn't watch it all because he kind of reminds me of the Visine guy. You know, his monotone voice, it was putting me to sleep. But the video was done 6 days ago, and there was one comment that in general that video received, and I'm going to share with you that comment that he actually put up. So basically the comment is from
your Ben Stein voice, the best you possibly can. Bueller,
so the comment
Bueller.
Came from Sourcing Sailor 4987, and then he wrote, "Your timing is impeccable." He submitted his first submission ever to SGC, which is one of the reasons why was because of their fast turnaround times.
Oh, so God.
He submitted 8 cards on the 7th of February, and he shipped them from Florida to Florida. USPS priority, signature confirmation, all that good stuff. Okay. Delivered the next business day, and on the very next Monday, which was the 10th, nothing. He's contacted them via the I need help inquiry 3 times, nothing. So then he goes on to say, after 2 days of messaging, he got an email through their support email saying that they got the submission today, which was on the 12th. Submission wasn't marked as received until the 17th. Sounds real typical of PSA. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait. Okay. All right. Just keep going.
All right.
So I'm breaking this down.
So here's the dates. He sent off 8 cards on the 7th,
which is a Friday.
Yes. And then they were delivered 1 business day later.
Okay. They were delivered on the 8th?
Yes.
Or the
that's
10th?
What he's saying.
Okay.
He's saying
the 10th would be Monday. That would be a business day.
Okay. So then that very next Monday, which is the 10th. Okay. So I guess weekends are not counted as business days.
They're not business days.
Okay. So then
this guy's got to chill. First of all, he's got to chill. This sounds like a customer that comes into Aldi, or where is this at? Why don't you have it? First of all, I don't milk the cows. Second of all, I don't package the milk. Third of all, I don't drive the trucks. Fourth of all, I don't deliver to my warehouse. Fifth of all, I don't deliver from my warehouse to the store. So if we got it, we got it. If we don't, we don't.
I love Mike. He's great.
I'll go off.
So let's continue on.
Oh my God! It got there, and I got no information. Jesus Christ!
You know, he
don't
fails to realize
it's past 9 o'clock. This is where I start going off.
He fails to realize that USPS and SGC tracking don't speak the same language. Okay, that's one.
True story. True story.
So then he also went through the SGC app through the I need help inquiry 3 times, and he got nothing. Okay, got it. Now, after 2 days, so that would put us into Monday. Okay. He emailed them through their support email, and he got an immediate response saying, "We got your submission today," which was Wednesday, the 12th. But his submission wasn't marked as received until the 17th. 10 days from him originally shipping the cards out and 7 days since USPS verified that they were delivered. So again, SGC tracking and USPS don't speak the same language. Now, today is the 26th of February, and his order has been saying received since the 17th. Even though he literally has an email from somebody at SGC saying your cards were received today. And that was on the 12th. He loves SGC. He has submitted 4 cards through a local card shop, which is in a location near me, which was months ago. And he wanted them to be their first grader. He had very expensive cards that he wanted to get graded via PSA, but didn't want to wait 2 or 3 months from my submission and return. He expected those cards early last week, but they didn't because he had plans to probably flip them at a sports card show that he missed because he didn't have a submission.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Release the Kraken.
Okay, listen. Here, let me grab my phone. I'm gonna share 2 cards with you guys. And yes, I did great with SGC. I've got stuff with PSA. I just quit. I don't care. Like if they get here in 2 years, they get here in 2 years. You have to understand that everything they put on those websites is an estimate. It does not mean it's a guarantee. We do not guarantee anything. So by knowing what you're getting yourself into and then complaining that it's 1 day out or 2 weeks out or even 6 months out, these are just estimates. If you don't know what the word estimate means, stop sending cards.
Exactly.
And where the hell is the cans of baked beans with the brown sugar? Is it aisle 4? Because the sign says aisle 4, but I don't see the beans, Mike. Can you show me where the beans are? Jesus. People, take it easy with the, like, this guy went on a whole entire rant, and there's really nothing wrong, right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
His cards are not lost, right? He didn't lose like a bunch of Jordans. It's not the guy that got his Jordans.
I'm surprised he hasn't called a lawyer to sue them because the cards aren't in his hand right now.
Remember the guy that, this was about 2 or 3 years ago, there was someone that had Jordans and Brady rookies, and the person got the cards and was like, whoa, these are not my cards. I think he even opened them live. And he's like, these are not my cards. These are really expensive, and these got to go back. And the guy got the cards back.
Yeah. See, here's what I've learned through grading through PSA, and I've learned it. I know Adrian has drilled it into my head, but it goes in one ear and out the other. Plus, I did 2 tours in the 4th grade. So now I have made it a habit to not only send my cards priority, I always throw in signature verification. Doesn't mean that SGC has received it. It just means that a representative of that company has taken possession of that box that has your order inside of it, but that does not mean that the grading clock starts upon that signature being obtained by that mailman. Okay, kind of like what Alan from Grayworthy was saying. The clock does not start until that order is put into the system.
Right.
You know, so let's just, I think this man probably went off for nothing. And he's probably by far one of the most impatient men in the state of Florida.
Does this guy have a channel or anything, or he just posted it somewhere and somebody picked it up, or what?
Is it real? Is it a real account? Like, what does it show? Anything like comment wise? Is there any elaboration?
That was his comment. That was his comment.
Oh,
I'm gonna put the name. I'm gonna put the name of the person who put the comment in the chat. So if you want to look him up,
probably is an old shopper beast. You're damn right. There's 5 freaking aisles in the goddamn store, and nobody can find a freaking thing.
It's probably one of those secret shoppers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those paid narcs.
Okay, so I think this guy went off on the deep end for no reason. Okay.
Of course he did.
You think? I think a lot of that happens. You know, I think it's just overreaction.
Will go a long way.
think somebody needs to take a Prozac.
Yeah, that too. All right, so let's move on to some more stuff because I like where Mike is going with his blood pressure.
I actually have to try to get some sleep tonight, so don't get me fired up.
All right, so this next thing that we're gonna actually talk about, okay, and I dropped another link in the chat so you can see what I'm talking about. But I actually have an eBay listing regarding it. Without giving you all content details behind the video, I'm going to show this. All right. So the name of this guy's store is Good Time Cards. You see he's been around the block for a little bit. Okay. Mm-hmm. He's got a 99.7% positivity feedback. Now, this is what he is selling for $1,100. Now, we go down to the description. Please read prior to purchase. No refunds. This is for the ultimate collector. This was commissioned by Paul Skeen's agent using his 2024 100% authentic Panini Boys of Summer cards. Only 49 made. He had 6 of them, so only 43 left in the world. None of these embroidered patches. He will send pics soon. So basically, what he is saying is he would take the cards themselves. And let me go back up to the picture. All right, so you got the Boys of Summer card. These are not the patches that go with the card. What he's doing is he's taking the patch that these cards originally had and replacing them with these patches that you see. Now, here's my question.
Okay.
As a buyer, is this something that you would spend your money on? And do you consider this ethical?
It's unethical.
Okay.
And this is why I say the hobby needs regulation.
Okay.
Because all of this would go away. It would all go away. It all needs to go away.
Now, here's the thing, though. If he is putting in his description that the cards, for a lack of better terms, have been altered, is he still cheating the system?
Yes, because it doesn't say custom made.
Yeah.
You must say custom made and then start with your description. You cannot. Okay. He's using legitimate cards and he's altering the legitimate cards and nowhere near other than the word read. I'm tired of it. When I see read, I don't click on it. If you click on anything that says read and you read, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm throwing idiots out there all day. They're free and I got more to come. You're an idiot. Stop wasting your time. Do not look at anything that says read. Now I understand. I've seen some where you're like, wow, why is this card $400 and it's $1,000 card? And then the guy says, please read scratches. But it also says in that same listing, damage, read, scratches, please read.
Okay. He doesn't say read in this one.
It doesn't matter.
Now.
Oh, God. Get a job. Go get a job.
Okay.
Please.
Look at this.
Guy.
Check this out. Each card is 100% authentic Panini card of the player shown and numbered, fully licensed. But then he highlights either an authentic NFL shield or team high quality embroidered patch has been added, not for grading. Now, does that change your mind frame on the ethics?
Oh, this is even worse. This is even worse when it says not for grading. It basically means they're going to catch it and tell you that this is fake.
It's fake.
Okay.
This is all questionable verbiage. Is this guy an attorney? I bet you this guy's an attorney for child molesters. I guarantee it.
The office of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe.
I'm sorry, this guy is no good.
Be nice to attorneys because I went to law school.
You did?
I did.
Wow.
How many weekends? How are the parties?
Let's look at another one. Let's take this one from Tampa Bay.
I will say these cards are awesome looking.
Well, they do look nice, but they're fake. So
yeah. And
are they though?
They are.
They're totally fake.
Is Enfuego trolling us right now?
Okay, now let's read the verbiage in this one.
Same verbiage like the other one. either the shield or a high team quality.
These cards will not. As long as it said these cards will not grade, I'm done.
This guy needs to be hit with a sack of quarters.
But okay, Mike, you don't grade anyway.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm not buying. I'm not buying.
How does the chat feel about this? Let's go right to the chat.
Chat, come on, start speaking up.
Help me out, please, for the love of God. I'm going to drown myself in a glass of water.
I'm going to go get another
Adrian
beer.
writes, basically, custom card needs to be included in the title.
Yes.
And I mean, how many people are completely against customized cards?
Enfuego, on a side note, these cards look awesome.
Right.
Like those Paul Skeens cards, if you want to go back to that, those were great looking cards. I thought those are like, wow, I'd love to own those, but not for that price. That Paul Skeen, that trio right there, that's a great.
It makes a great decoration piece.
It just looks great. Yeah. I mean, ID doctored swatch. That's funny. That's good. I mean, listen, hey, I have no problem with people selling them, but the way he's selling them is no good.
I mean, it's one thing to sell something like this and not give the buyer a heads up in the description.
And they are. Listen, you just stay away from anything that says read, because rarely is it going to be what you want to hear.
Now, would that apply to those types of cards that don't have patches? So, for example, if you end up seeing a 101 for a unusually low price, but you have the word read in the title, but you're not going to want to glance as to why.
Well, that one, I think that would be the exception, because I have seen, like I said, where it's damaged. So let me backtrack that. If I was in the market looking for that and it was that type of card,
right,
I think you're 100% right. You do have to read. But listen, I read all the time. And if it's a guy with a top loader and he's holding the card from way out here, and it's like, hey, do you mind taking that out of the case and showing me a picture of the card? I had a guy ask me, I go, hey, can you take it out of the One Touch? He replied and says, what is the One Touch? I'll send you the link. We'll do that next week and chop our heads off, so we don't have to listen to it anymore. It's just ridiculous what's going on out here, that people are going to do anything for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody just mentioned Bud Stoney will make a killing with his custom cards. I got so many Bud Stoney custom cards. I'm telling you.
Yeah, show those off.
Yeah. There's the Garbage Pail Kids Alec Bohm 101.
How cool is that? That's hilarious. It's great.
Yeah.
And then we got the Hot Stuff Hans and Mixed Up Mitch. He made for me. Hans Krause and Mitch White.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
And that's my favorite, the Bryce Harper 101.
That is really good.
Rockin' Philly. Yeah. I mean, it's like, hey, I love these cards. These cards are awesome. But you
don't love them for $1,119, do you?
No, not for that.
What the hell's going on around here?
I agree. Because when I first saw that segment being spoken of, I already know I have a certain resentment towards Panini already. This just kind of solidified the fact. And you notice, what I also noticed too is he's doing these alterations to what we consider non-licensed products anyway.
You can take me off big screen.
Adding a modified license, because you take a Paul Skeens card from a Panini product, you're not going to see the name. You're not going to see none of that stuff. Okay. Minus the number, maybe the name, but you won't see the team logo. He's giving you that team logo, which I don't care how much you do it. It doesn't make it better. I appreciate the donation, sweetheart. Okay. So I guess we all can agree. Let me see, 3 plus however many is in here. All 33 of us agreed this is something we would stay away from.
Yep, Spicy Bear, read the warning sign. Exactly.
And thank you guys all for being in the chat.
We do appreciate it. All right. So
I swear,
that horse
Mr.
to death.
Enfuego's trolling us. He's trying to give us a heart attack over here.
No, not at all. I'm just making sure I get as I'm trying
You're
to
validating for
maximize.
yourself.
I'm trying to maximize on y'all's ability to critically think.
Yeah, I have a hard time with people trying to get over on somebody, but I also see that this guy's got a lot of potential, and he really does offer a really cool card. Because these are real cards. He's taking out the original patch and putting better patches in.
Correct. Well, Lucky Peter, if it's put in the description, there's really no confusion.
As long as they describe it that way and not put it up as, will not grade or something like that, which is a little deceptive.
That's exactly what it is, Tom. You threw that cloth on your back, it's technically player worn.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think we've kicked the hornet's nest a little bit excess. So,
are you going to take me off full screen now? Come on. Nobody wants to see me.
All right. So now the last part, and I really don't engage in eBay as much as Arnie, or I'm gonna throw you under that bus too, Mike, because you've got more experience with it than I do.
I do a lot more buying than I do selling. Yeah.
So okay. What are some tips if you had a piece of advice for a new person that is looking to make the hobby into a business to fund their collecting habits, and they're looking to become an eBay seller? In one sentence, what would be the one thing that would be the one size fits all to be a successful seller on eBay?
I don't consider myself a successful seller. I sell on eBay to stay in the game.
Okay.
That's what I do. I have certain cards. I might have a double or something of that, or I have a card that I got in a break that is not one of my favorite fillies or something like that, that I will put up there to try to complete my complete sets or something like that. I do it like 3 times a year.
Right.
And I just went through one run where I made about, I'd say about $300 out of it. Okay. So I can start buying into some older cards that I need, so get the new cards, buying the breaks. You get a card 5 out of 15. Okay. Well, it's not one of my favorite Philly players. So let's just put that up and see what happens. If I get, $30-$40 for it, $30-$40 that goes into buying the players that I want.
Nice. Does that change your, real quick on a side note, does that change your approach to the card show you're going to go to with a little extra cash now? Or are you gonna
absolutely.
Your budget?
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. That's what this was for. I started selling those cards so I can go to a card show instead of buying on eBay, and then start bundling some stuff up. And, maybe instead of like this card's $10 and I bundle a couple other cards up there that would be 30, all from $20, get it for 25 or 22. Yeah. That's fine. That's the way I look at it. Like I said, my collecting habits have changed just in the past 5 years. Every year it's changed. Right.
So to answer Hobby Hound's question, he's asking, what do I use to measure success? Is it quantity or getting what you want on a card? My measurement of success is establishing yourself in that market as a reputable seller, that you will have constant traffic of consumers looking at your store and making purchases regardless of size.
Yeah. It's got to be honesty. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good way.
It's a big one too.
Yeah. So I would say to go to the original question here that you posed is, for me, it's a challenge going on eBay. It really is. That I would just say it's a challenge, and here's the reason why.
Okay, so
all the stuff that is on there is it's a constant changing, with the fees and how you list things, and
right.
The worst is this AI stuff. The AI generated descriptions are the worst thing in the world because it doesn't tell you anything. It tells you absolutely nothing about the card. But if it's a graded card, you should do your homework and you have a graded slab. You could cross-check it with PSA, you cross-check it right on the eBay site. You have all those tools. If it's an ungraded card, you have a lot of work to do as a buyer. If it's an ungraded card, you should have a lot of work to do as a seller. And what I mean by that is give a little bit better of a description. I give very vague descriptions when it's warranted. It's a near mint card, meaning it's not going to grade a 10. It could grade a 10. I've sold cards that have graded 10s and I didn't think they would grade a 10, or I didn't think they were going to grade them. And then hey, I sold you a card. Great. It worked out. But then I've had issues where you're selling dollar cards to fill someone's set. I'd rather sell those on a forum or Facebook or another trade group for 50 cents a card and know they're going right into a binder. Now, I'm not trying to get over a wrinkled card that's a common. I'm just trying to say if it's got a corner touch and it's not going to get a 10, I don't want to argue over $1.99 or $1.49. I just don't. I'm going to send you your money back and we're done, and I'm going to block you as a seller. And eBay's really tough. Just you got to be patient. I guess my one phrase or statement would be patience.
Okay.
Patience overall. Just patience.
Yeah. No, very true. You know,
both sides though. That goes for sellers and buyers, because you got to remember when we hear these blanket statements, which is my number one pet peeve in life and in sports cards. If you're going to have a conversation with me, the second you say something, I'm going to ask who, what, where, why, the whole deal. I want to know, what are you talking about? Where'd you hear that from? And how did you come up with that?
Right.
Because most of the time people are just saying things to say things. And I don't need to single anyone out in the chat here because listen, I do it too. We all do it. And I know this is just, thoughtful, friendly conversation. But when you're having a real good conversation with somebody and you're trying to get a deal done, you just want the answers, right? That's it. So just have patience on both sides, because you never know what a seller's going through. You never know what a buyer's going through. Kill them with kindness. Send them back a funny joke. I used to bash people like, oh, yeah, why are you sending me a $20 offer on an $800 card? And then I reply instead of that, I'll reply, hey, why not come to $22 and you got yourself a deal, buddy, and just have fun with them. Yeah, and then you just have a little fun, but you got to be patient with these people because you don't know if you're dealing with a new buyer or a new seller. And eBay is tough, man, but you do reach a lot of the eyes.
Yep, like some things that I know for a fact that I personally don't have the patience for would be one. You got to make sure whatever it is that you're selling, you got to take those high quality photos. Don't take a photo when listed on eBay with you holding the damn card in your hand, saying that it's top notch or whatever the case may be. Okay, if you got a light box, you can use that, or if you have a makeshift display to where you can actually incorporate kind of like a photo shoot for whatever it is that you're selling. Make sure whatever method you have, it gives you the best quality product, because if the card looks like crap on eBay, automatically they're gonna assume you're selling something that looks like balled up homework. Okay. Show the front, the back to include the corners. If it's serialized, it doesn't hurt. Take a picture of the serial number.
Absolutely.
Just because you have it listed on the title doesn't really hold much water. A key thing that a lot of people fail to do almost all the time, writing a strong title. Just because you put in there Hall of Fame autograph, okay, that's not going to be the driving force on people gravitating towards that sale. I mean, hell, it could be a Harold Baines. How many people collect Harold Baines?
Johnny.
So, I mean, you got to be specific.
Baby Chuck.
And if you're going to write out the type of card that you're actually selling, be detailed. Give the year, the brand that it came from, the player name, the card number. If it's a parallel or an autograph, include that. If it's graded, who was it graded with? What's the grade? Even though eBay now has that ability to show the PSA partnership that they got, where you could click on a few buttons and it'll give you a whole pop report of that certificate, that label number for that particular slab. Okay. Still, you're going to want to do your due diligence on that. As far as descriptions, I personally would stay away from AI because AI will just give you nothing but fluff.
Well, I use AI first of all just to get a base, just to see what it says,
right?
And then I'll edit it.
Yeah, and a lot of
people
cut it down. Do that.
I'll edit.
People don't do that because that requires work. Okay.
Doesn't take that much work. There's something going on outside. There's all kinds of explosions. I don't know what's going on.
4th of July, coming early.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but Mike just like gets back to his elbows on his desk and he's like, I don't know what's going on out there.
I have no idea what's going on.
There's jets dropping bombs out there. I think something's going on outside.
Whatever. Canadians are invading.
It's like whatever.
Whatever.
It's CCP and Jeff out there.
Yep. Now here's another issue where a lot of sellers fail on. Setting a competitive price.
Oh man!
I think a vast majority of eBay sellers do not look at what is currently out there when it comes to setting their price. They look for these astronomical prices based off rarity.
Yeah. Here's a couple quick rundown tips I'll give. Okay, I just had to get that laugh out. I was laughing at Mike how casual he was. It was like it just reminded me of like a sitcom where he's like, okay, and you were saying,
yeah.
So here's some things I would just watch for when it comes to eBay. We talked about this last week. Number one, when you're buying on eBay and you're using PayPal, make sure you use the credit card. Never use your PayPal balance. Transfer your PayPal balance to your bank account. We went over that, and I told you why.
Yeah.
Number two, when you're selling, be very cautious when it comes to these new ways that they're trying to get you to spend more money or give them more money or make more money off of you. And that's promoted listings. Right. Promoted listings is something that's fairly new, but it's been around for a little bit. It's just something that's kind of at the forefront if you're not posting all the time. A lot of people will say, man, I posted a card on there. I can't get it to sell. I got this many views. And I saw you sold the same card. How did you sell it so fast? Well, 18 and a half years on eBay and 2,000 plus transactions or whatever, that all that goes in with it. Right. And I sell very casually on there. I try to sell direct with people and create connections and sell that way.
Okay.
So eBay is my secondary and sometimes third option. Now, I know just like anything else, every card has its place, right? If you have a card that's in your hand and it's like, okay, this should go here. It's just like grading. Okay, this card's got to go SGC. Okay, this card I'm going into my PC, but it goes on this wall display, and those are all PSA over there, so I have to do this. That's how you need to treat it. Weigh your options is what I mean. Weigh all the options, and if you're going to list on eBay consistently, 5 cards per day, they will take you 2 minutes tops. That's 10 minutes, and here's what I do. So if you guys can see the screen, I will set up my light box. I will put a card right up front. And I will just go like this. And I will set up my phone on a stand. And I will have my phone in hand. I was just cleaning my phone as we were sitting here hanging out. And I will set this up and I will just click camera. And I will set my camera on a stand. And I will just literally switch cards like this.
Yeah.
And I have little tiny sticky wax dabs that are on the bottom, like for hanging posters. And I would put them on the bottom of these stands. And I kind of stick it down onto the base of the actual light box so this doesn't move, and then my camera never moves, and all I do is keep tapping photo. So if I go to a doctor's appointment, I'm sitting in the office for a half hour waiting, I throw up my phone, boom, grab a photo, post a card, post a card, post a card. You want to go do it while you're sitting on the toilet? Go for it. Have at it. List some poopy cards. I don't care. But that's the best way to do it. 5 cards a day, you will be moving, even if they're dollar cards. eBay wants to see activity.
Yeah.
That you'll get the most eyes on your cards. Do 5 cards a day religiously for the whole entire year. You're over 1,000 cards listed.
Hell, I'm saying, yeah, like I know what the hell you talking about. Anyway,
list 5 cards a day.
I really like what the chat's saying. Like
list 5 cards a day.
Card says, go copy a card that sold well. Awesome. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, very good. And I use a template.
Tom says 2 photos and a card doesn't cut it for me. It depends on the price. You know,
it depends on the price too, and the condition too, Tom. You know,
Right.
and again, graded cards, use the app and go look at the card, because sometimes people don't take the best pictures, and sometimes they take great photos or even upload the ones from PSA. Click on the cert, type it in your phone, look it up, or even use the link that they provide, and they'll take you right to PSA's site to see high grade photos, high resolution scans.
Okay.
What I do personally is I have a small write up, and is it however you want to say, is it cross referencing whatever it is, right? You're basically referencing how you got the card. That's always cool. Oh, hey, pack pulled by me. And I put that there sometimes because people do want to know how you acquired the card or had this card in a collection. I have other 50s cards listed currently. If you're interested in this one, you may want to check out my other listings. That's a template you can basically type out and copy and paste every time. And it's basically you talking to the consumer now.
Right.
And it seems more personal. And really all you're doing is just trying to get them to buy more cards. And to me, that's better than nothing, because I see listings with nothing. It's blank.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, just like Casey said, I put in all my listings, shipped securely. Great.
Yeah, awesome.
Pulled on my YouTube channel, Casey Card Connection. So if you want to go and check the card out, it's right there. Awesome. That's awesome. This is why I like the way that we've kind of changed this a little bit, where everybody in the chat is contributing, because I'm finding out stuff. I'm learning stuff. I don't know everything. You know, and it's just awesome. They get these little tips, write them down, and use them
exactly.
when I sell cards.
Yeah.
Here's another pet peeve for you guys.
I can't.
Since we're talking about shipping options,
I will.
Okay. What is your Arnie? I'm gonna pick on you. What is your rules on shipping versus from a raw card? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A complete set that you're listing, a graded card, or a graded card of a substantial value.
So I know this is going to sound bizarre, but shipping very expensive cards is very risky. Okay. And air tags are great. They're cheap. You could simply open up a box, put it underneath the bottom flap or a side flap, put it into a bag of some sort if you have a deal worked out with somebody, just to protect yourself, but let the buyer know. And then this is not on an eBay deal. This is just on a shipping deal with shipping an expensive card that you do have insurance on. Ship insurance, outside third-party insurance, because selling cards that way is extremely risky. With the theft that goes on today, number one, I would say change your name. I don't care. Put something on there. Don't put some, Joe's Feet Picks or, John's, Sausage Factory. Just put something on there. You know what I mean? Anything. Just put any name other than the card deal. I change it to TCD. No one knows what the hell TCD is, right? Just change it to TCD. So on my outgoing stuff, I always change it for certain values. Now, when it comes to regular stuff, $300 to $500 and under that I just normally insure and trust the post office, I just put the card deal on. I don't change it, but I have a drop down on my shipping labels that I select my personal address, my home name or home address, business address, PO box, whatever it may be. Change that. That's a good one to do. That's probably the number one thing that anybody can do that doesn't cost them any extra money, right? And it gives you a little added security. But air tags have been a big thing lately in the last 6 months. Shipping big cards, let the buyer know, hey, I'm shipping this with an air tag. I've got the code. I'm watching it. It's tracking, and just let you know when you get it. It's in an envelope, and throw it away. Okay.
So now, as far as shipping, this is what I think is fair and should be a common practice. So for raw cards that are under $20 in value, nothing more than an eBay standard envelope. You're spending between $1.08 to $1.68 tracked. Then any cards between $20 to $150 that gets upgraded to a first class mail in a bubble mailer, which will run about $4 to $6. And then anything over that, priority of UPS insured, which will cost you about $9. Now, on top of that, anything over that $150 threshold, while it's still free, we do have that eBay authentication guarantee process where you won't get it directly. It'll make a pit stop somewhere in Florida. I forgot where at exactly.
Mr. Enfuego's house.
You didn't hear that from me. It'll go through an authentication process, and if it checks out, okay, because if I'm not mistaken, the authenticators are actually SGC employees. Okay, they will go through it, and if it checks out, they'll put it in a nice little cardboard box, make it all nice and pretty and presentable. Then you get your package. But if it doesn't check out to the correct standards, it would actually go back to the seller, and then you'll have to wait up to a week to get reimbursement, and you'll get a justification as to why you're not receiving that card. It's a vague explanation, but at least you're getting an explanation.
Yep. So one added thing though, guys, I know a lot of people are loyal to these name brands and buying this and buying that, but listen, it all costs money. Armalope, all that stuff, you can get the same exact thing that is an Armalope. It's the exact same thing. There's nothing different. It just doesn't have a printed decal on here.
Yeah.
Stay away from that stuff. People are smart. People that are stealing cards know about cards. They know about Armalope. They know about all these things.
Yeah.
So simply buy one of these, your 4x6 labels, invest in a thermal printer. Don't have to worry about ink, and you don't have to buy the name brand. If you want links to anything, you guys can reach out to me. I can send you all the links that are on Amazon. I buy all this stuff in bulk, and it is fractional compared to Armalope, but it's the same exact thing. It doesn't advertise it that it's a sports card anywhere. And then what I do is when I seal my label up like this, these tabs that are able to be peeled, I'll take my label, which is always this position, and I'll go to the far right corner, make sure it's lined up because that's where the stamp part is, the name and the return. And then I'll wrap this outside corner right like that. And then if someone's tampering with that, it's clearly known that it's been tampered with.
Yeah.
So anybody can take a standard envelope if they wanted to steal something and wanted to go the extra mile. They just look at the standard envelope, slap it on a scanner, hit scan. Now they have the piece of paper with your label on there. Open it up, take the card, put something crappy back in, and then tape that new one onto a new envelope, and then they're done. They've stolen your card. It's happened. It's just real easy to do. But at least with this, you know how you've shipped it. And if you get a Dymo label writer, which is the brand that I have, or any brand you do get, these off-brand ones are fractional of the cost. And you can get 4-pack rolls for literally the cost of 1 to 2 rolls of the name brand stuff. And then these are great. So this is what I use for that. And then I will actually go the extra mile. Stay away from padded envelopes if you're shipping cards that are around $100 to $200 or even higher. Put them in a regular white box. Put them in a regular brown box. They're not that much more. It's going to cost you an extra 50 cents difference in price from a padded envelope to a box. And you're going to save a bunch of money, and it doesn't look like a baseball card. So.
Or if you want to save some money and get some quality Armalope envelopes, you could go to Card Shells, pick them up over there, use my promo code, save 10% on any orders over $50.
Not trying to throw them under the bus. I wasn't. I was just simply saying that I've been using these for so long, and
I get you. I've
been using
them. That
before
was just a shameless plug.
Yes, and mine was not a shameless let down or put down. That's what I meant to say.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
but since we're talking about pricing, though, Arnie, if let's just say you were selling a card that it's about $400, right? Is there something on eBay that will trigger an automatic pit stop to get authenticated? Here's why I asked that.
Yeah, the $300 threshold. It's the 300 and up. So
how is it that when we looked at Game Time cards, that $1,000 Paul Skeens display didn't have that label on that listing?
Go back to his listing and see where he's located. See what he is putting the cards under what category.
And we was actually gonna go under that too.
Yeah, I think the category is what makes the difference here.
Okay,
it'll be on the top right hand side of the. Oh, there it is, right there. Let's see. Manufacturer, season, sport, condition. Go back up higher, a little bit to the right of the photo at the very top. Keep going.
single cards, sports trading cards.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, actually, this is a cheaper one. Go to the one that's over 300. I want to see if it's a different category.
Okay. Let's go back to that Paul Skeens. Well,
that one's, yeah, it's got to be over 300 in value or in price.
Yeah.
Click on the, I think the Skeens one was $4 million or something. It was up there.
Oh, so one was $1,100, the triple patch or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one.
Let's go to this one. Super Bowl patch. Classy.
What's the category he's selling it under?
Trading,
sports trading cards. Yeah. I don't know how he's getting around it. I have no idea.
Well, wait a minute. Is that Jalen Hurts? But that doesn't look like the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, it's the Super Bowl patch, the two colors.
Oh.
Game of Inches Grail. Now, is that going to gravitate you towards making this purchase?
Oh, for $400? Hell no.
That's a cool card, though.
Yeah, okay, it's a cool card, but guess what?
Yeah.
It's Jalen Hurts, and it looks like they're playing the Cardinals.
It's an eagle, Mike. It's got your name written all over it.
I don't care. $400 on that.
I don't know. You know what, Enfuego, that's a good question. I don't have the answer to that. I don't know how this guy's getting around it, and this thing makes my head hurt. But 100%
no refunds. Yeah, guess
custom card 100.
And as a seller, let me tell you something. The 100% no refunds does nothing. Yeah. As a seller, it does nothing for you. There is refunds. The buyer is always right. Just make sure you're paying with PayPal, and the PayPal funds, don't use those. Use the credit card that's attached to your PayPal account. Make it be your bank account card. The bank's got the best fraud department, and they will go to bat for you 100% of the time.
Oh, I'm sold. I break, you lose. I break, I lose, you win. Get the cards you want without the chase. Win-win for you. I'm sold.
Pipe down and pipe down. Jesus. This guy.
Time cards.
This guy.
Yeah. So.
Come on down.
Sounds like that guy that was selling the Fleer cards in the
Don
90s.
West. Yeah, rest in peace, Don West.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Good time cards. We got this for you now.
So, ultimately, from everything that we've spoken about and everything that the chat has been adding, I would venture to say that those would be some key elements on being a successful seller on eBay, and basically having an influx or constant, views, if you will, at your store, and people frequently giving up their money to you.
Mm-hmm.
This would lead to I guess a lot of people strive for 100% positive feedback rating, or I believe it was Alan Forrest. He's got the prestige. He's got the gold star by his name. He's listed as a top seller.
Oh, Alan, yeah, Alan's got
also from Dan from the Basement. He's top seller also.
Correct?
Yeah. So I mean,
I actually have my first.
That's awesome.
My first negative feedback in almost 20 years. And I'm getting it reversed because when we had
shame on you, Smalls. Shame on you.
We had our tornado here. Then first tornado in like 100 years was like one street behind me, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I wasn't looking at eBay listings during a power outage for like 4 or 5 days. Yeah. So, but other than that, it's you just want to stay active on eBay to get your stuff.
Yep, and I mean, if you don't have a warm fuzzy about selling on eBay or buying on eBay, and it's a topic for a completely different segment. There's other platforms you can conduct these transactions on, and just to name a few, you got ComC, you got Amazon, you got StockX. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's just, as a seller, eBay would be everybody's ideal go-to, because that's like the Holy Bible in regards to sports cards in general. You know, do I agree with that logic? To a certain degree, because it's like everybody places eBay at such a high pedestal, yet we see a lot of shenanigans with the platform, and a lot of people take to YouTube or take to social media and complain and cry about that bad experience, and it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. You know, so I mean, and then Adrian made another good one. Alt's another option. You know, they're not as old as eBay, but you know, they're still relatively reputable.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carterholic is saying, Arnie, you took longer than 65 days, and every time he reached out, you never answered. So he needs the cards then. He needed the cards then.
Wait, what? What happened? Sorry about that, Arnie. 65 days. Make sure you never answered it. Was that you? I knew it. I knew it.
And Beast is going, we'll go to Craigslist.
Oh, yeah, Craigslist. That's why I met Beast.
Yeah. So, oh, yeah. And I don't know how true this is, but apparently our president is looking at pardoning Pete Rose to get into the Hall of Fame. We'll see how far that goes. Okay. But basically, those are just some tips
on there.
From my standpoint, they're very generic because I've only taken to eBay as a seller one time, and that was back in the midst or the early stages of the pandemic, when I pulled a Jason Dominguez autograph out of a mega box, and I sold it for $2,600.
God bless America. There we go. Now
and that was the last time I've actually did it, because I had no clue what I was doing. I was just making up stuff in the damn in the description, you know, future Hall of Famer. This kid hasn't even spent a half an hour in the league yet, and I'm already saying he's a Hall of Famer.
He's priced in as a Hall of Famer, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. But other than that, that's pretty much everything that we've got covered for today's topics. Is there anything you two would like to add to what we spoke about today that we probably didn't cover?
No, I think you covered quite a bit of stuff. And yeah, just be a good person, man. That's it. At the end of the day, just be a good person. Everything will work out, especially on the internet. The internet's a scary place.
Right.
Yeah, I think we got everything covered.
Yeah.
Fuego managed to get Artie's blood pressure up, my blood pressure up. So yeah, it was a good show.
At least Mike's got a couple full beers in him, at least. Jesus.
Bring back Tops Traded. Yeah, let's go.
Nice.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How that works out.
I hope Pete Rose comes out from the grave as a zombie and attacks Manfred.
Yeah. But just to
who's the one that banned him? It was Giamatti, right?
Yeah, right. And he passed away like 2 days later.
Well, he's going to go after Giamatti's son. You know, he'll never make a movie again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just a reminder, this upcoming Monday, there will not be a podcast because I will not be in the area. I'll be too busy catching a spring training game in Tampa.
Oh,
but
cool,
I will
man.
be doing a live stream while I'm out there. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be epic.
Very cool.
Other than that, Mike, you got anything upcoming?
Yes, we do. Sunday, March 9th, 12 o'clock, we got a fundraiser for Matt Simpson and his family from Matty Ice Cards. I'm going to go live. Actually, wow, it's going to be tomorrow night. We're going to start talking about it, selling some spots for the fundraiser. We've already have 25 items donated for the fundraiser. And we'll explain everything that's going on for Saturday or for Sunday on Tuesday night and start selling some spots for that. And if I can jump on maybe while Arnie's got Friday night, I might do a Saturday night into the Sunday, you know, to get some more hype and talk about that. So if anybody out there that wants to share the link. I gotta find now. I have to find my channel. I don't even know what my channel is anymore. I don't do too much on there. I'll share the link. It doesn't even come up in my on my own search.
Wow.
I know. How sad is that?
That is pathetic.
It is pathetic. Ripping for Rookies card view. What the heck is this? That was from Gradeworthy. I can't even log in my own channel, for God's sakes.
Oh boy.
I got to go through Gradeworthy to find my own channel. Wait a minute. Here we
boy. Mike's going to blow it up officially.
I found it.
Okay.
I found it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
All right. I found it. I'm going to put the link in here to the video. Oh my God, it's so sad. It's so late. I'm going on 18 hours straight right now, so
we're almost done. Once we're done, we both go to bed. Not together, though.
Not together. We do not go to bed. Jesus.
I don't think the wife would be happy with that.
See, I put in MR and Mr. Enfuego channel comes right up. I put in Ripping for Rookies. I can't even find my channel. All right, so here's the link. I finally got it. There we go. Hit the enter button. And that's the link for the video that I put up for the fundraiser for Maddie, right? For Maddie. And right now we have about, I think, 25 donations so far. So we'll go through over everybody that donated on Tuesday night and see if we can get some sales. It's going to be $5 a spot. Everything's going on the wheel. You get to pick your prize. If you're not here, then we'll just do a random spin of everything that's left, and that's what you're going to get. There's
like a secondary wheel with the prizes, one with the names, one with the prizes.
Well, I was going to do it that way. I'm just going to do it with the names, and then the names. If you're in the chat, if you're in the live stream, you get to pick your prize.
I'm sorry. What I meant is that's a great idea. What if they're not in the chat? Then how are you?
If they're not in the chat, then it goes on another wheel.
Okay, so the wheel will have the prizes for that part.
Yeah, we'll put all the remaining prizes on another wheel, and then we'll spin it that way, and that's what you get. So we've got autographed baseball jerseys. I got 3 of them sitting here. That's been sitting here for 2 months.
Awesome.
What else do we have? Arnie has donated $150 in break credits, a 75, a 50, a 25. Band in the Basement, Ron has donated 6 slabs. We're going to bundle them up, two slabs per person.
Nice.
What else we have? We got Canadians goodies coming from Jeff and Dar. Hopefully they make it across the border without a 25% increase. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, make sure they bring the cocaine.
Huddle has donated 3 2021 tins, 2022 update hanger, and
nice.
2023 holiday mega. Mark C has donated a Cal Ripken hand-painted bobblehead, which is really cool. I saw the picture of that. Cardaholic, I still have to get in touch with you. I'll get in touch with you Tuesday after work. He's got some baseball boxes that he wants to donate. So there could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. Who knows? Fraylin has a mystery box. Dom has a mystery box or boxes coming, and you know what the Dom boxes are like. So yeah, we got all kinds of stuff going on. It's going to be
awesome.
It's going to be fun.
So Dom put that Wednesday night is going to be part 2 of the MLB preseason breakdown on collecting for profit with Huddle.
There you go.
Make sure you go check that out.
Cool.
All right, and Cardaholic sending you an email now.
All right, cool. Thank you. I mean, honestly, I've gotten a blitz with text messages, emails. I've just worked the last 5 days. I got 1 more day to go. Trying to keep in touch with everybody and trying to get everything coordinated for this. So it's going to slow down a little bit for the next couple days. So I should be set.
All right, Arnie, I know you got your
just the Friday show. That's it, man. That's all I got.
There you go.
Anything to look forward to on Friday? You got any?
Yes, we restocked with 2025 or wait, yeah, 2020 was it 2025 Series 1 hangers,
Okay.
2022 Stadium Club blasters, a case of each, and we got a couple other new products in too, so they will be here on time and on the show for Friday. So we'll do, probably something like a discounted if per box discount, and then we'll give a bonus if we sell it the case. But those are products that we were ripping last week, and they were a lot of fun. And but yeah, so I figured we'll try them again and see if I can get them a little bit cheaper, maybe 50 cents to $1 cheaper a box. And I was able to double up on the order and get them down just a little bit. So we're going to do those, and then just the normal Friday show shenanigans, and get ready for the weekend for the fundraiser, and get ready for that Monday.
Awesome. Well, as for me, I'm actually heading out with the missus on Saturday en route to Tampa. So we're looking at
Nice.
We're looking at doing the game on Monday, but between Saturday and before the game, I do plan on doing a live stream at some point of being there, and I will have my special guest with me, and I'm going to see about trying to do a live box battle with said person. So with the 2 donations that I received today, which I do appreciate, that's going towards a box so that I can do said battle with said person that will be coming up there. All right.
Nice.
So other than that, that's pretty much it, everybody. Again, I do appreciate everybody hanging out with us, contributing. I mean, 31 watching. I do appreciate it.
Yep.
Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Check out Arnie's channel. Check out Mike's channel if and when he decides to post. Hence the last name. But other than that, we will catch everybody again. And I will pop up in that live stream that Mike will be holding on Sunday. So hopefully everybody will be there, and have a rest of your good night and enjoy the week, everybody.